gaming products in Asia. And I'm glad to introduce World of Warships, our upcoming title, big one, which we brought to PAX, and we have a demo behind closed doors, and a special demo for interviews as well. So to tell briefly about the title, it will be an MMO game in the naval warfare setting for the period of Second World War, starting from the early 20th century till the end of war, like early 50s. The game will feature 4 main classes of ships, which are completely different. 3 main classes, they form like rock, paper, scissors gameplay, and they are destroyers, which are the fastest vehicles in the game. They are lightly armored, but they were fast, and they have deadly torpedoes on board, which can destroy all the biggest ship in the game. So they're like a stealth class, and with the goal to come down in close battle with big battleships, undetected, unload their torpedoes, destroy the ship, and hide away. They even have a special ability to launch a smoke screen to come undetected and hide in it. And the big battleships, the second class, they're very higher power, very heavily armored, and they can shoot up to 20+ kilometers away and destroy smaller ships with even one precise shot. But they're not very maneuverable, and the turrets are rotating slowly, guns are reloading slowly, so they are will find very difficult to hit small, fast, nimble destroyers. That's why we need a third class, middle class, which are cruisers. They are faster, they have faster reload speed and turret rotation, so they can hunt down destroyers, and also they are carrying anti-aircraft guns to protect your fleet from aerial attacks. So, and these 3 types of ship, they form, like, as I mentioned, rock, paper, scissors, with each ship vulnerable to one of the classes and deadly to another. And so we've got the 4th class, which is completely different. It's aircraft carriers, and their gameplay more like real-time strategy, controlling your squadrons of warplanes, which are 3 types. They could be fighters to bring down the planes of enemy, and 2 kinds of bombers, torpedo bombers and dive bombers. So battle carriers are more like support class, and you will oversee the battle from tactical view most of the time, and it's very suitable for team commanders or clan leaders, because they will see all the landscape of the battle and provide support to their forces quite fast, without necessity to move somewhere. Just with their planes they can hit the balance in different parts of the map. So here you can see our dock with 6 different ships. As you can see, they're very detailed. We pay much attention to the historical accuracy of our visuals. Each model is based on real blueprints, which are accessed by our historical department. The guys who are working with the museums, with some military organizations, and with private collectors to get their hands on actual blueprints and build these ships from the scratch. So the creation of a ship takes from 2 to 6 months in average, depending on the size of the ship and of the details, how many details are in there. So if you're speaking in technical side, the number of polygons, if you take World of Tanks, for example, 1 tank contains the same amount of polygons as 1 tower on this turret on this ship. So it could be really maybe 100 times more polygons in 1 ship model. As you can see, they are very, very detailed, and for now we have like 75 warships which are planned for release within 2 nations, Japan and the US. And after the release, with constant updates, we will introduce new nations, new ships, maybe new ship classes. starts with early 20th century. So the ships that the first battles encountered, like the First World War, the Second World War, it was the golden age of construction for warships, for tanks, for warplanes as well. That's why we picked this very age. So it's not dedicated to only World War II, it's a bit earlier and a bit after.
Yep. Okay, cool. And obviously a big part in that period was the introduction of submarines being able to take out these really expensive ships. Is that something you could see a direction going in the future? I know you mentioned potentially having a fifth class. Is submarine sort of in the idea there, or is that from a balance perspective sort of off the table? Or?
So frankly speaking, it's the most frequent asked questions about World of Warships. So to tell the truth, submarines, they were not participating in actual battles with warships.
Sure.
They were hunters. They were to hunt down convoys with supply ships, etc. But lots of players are asking us about it. Sure, we have some ideas. For now, we cannot see the actual gameplay for submarines in here. We will release the game and then we will try to think about it. So we never say no, but for the release, it's not planned.
And with obviously alpha work in progress at the moment, what kind of, for lack of a better word, meta have you seen sort of coming out at the moment? If you've got, say, 8 versus 8 or something like that. I know you mentioned the carrier was kind of like a leader class ship. Would you have one leader for skirmishes or 2 destroyers or something like that? Have you noticed something that lends itself to that kind of balance, or that'll be more fleshed out when the game goes live?
So for now, the battle PvP battle will be limited up to 12 players from each side, and up to 20 minutes. The average battle right now is about 10 to 12 minutes, but we are very looking forward to introducing a very friendly environment for the new players to come. So they will start not with complex ships which have lots of different kinds of weaponry, like main caliber, secondary caliber, torpedoes, recon plates, anti-aircraft systems, or what else. They will start with small first level, first tier ship with 1 or 2 cannons, which very easy to navigate and to operate the systems. And they will start playing some PvE missions with bots in his team and with bots as enemies. Then they will progress to the next tier, get unlocked other classes of ships, and be able to team up with players against AI. So they will be introduced to economic system, progression system, step by step. And after that, when they master everything, every basics, they will be able to join PvP, completely PvP.
With those maps on PvP or hosting servers and having, in World of Tanks you've got obviously the maps, you've got villages, you've got shrubbery cover, hills, that sort of thing. Will that translate into World of Warships, or will it be more of there's different weather? Will it always be open sea, or will there be different, shallower channels or something like that that the players will have to navigate?
So gameplay-wise, we try to avoid just open sea for sure, because it's boring and it's the same all the time. Right now we have about 7 maps already, and we will introduce more and more. They are different settings, for example, the Pacific or Nordic seas or whatever, like fjords or something like that, with different landscapes which affect the gameplay. So you can hide behind the islands, maneuver. There are gonna be shallow parts which are crossable only for small ships. So to mix the gameplay, and also we are experimenting on weather. Right now we already have some weather conditions on some of the maps, like storms, thunderstorms, and we're planning to have this feature as determined before the start. So at the same map, different battles, you can have different weather conditions. And the next step for us will be that we will try to make this dynamic. So, for example, moving storms through the battle. We're now experimenting and playing with these prototypes because most important thing here is not the technical side, but gameplay.
Yeah.
So how it affects visibility, how it affects gameplay and players' feedback, and balance feature as well. Different ships will have different visibility like bonuses or aspects. So for example, if you take the destroyers, they will be visible from much closer distance, and for example a big battleship that will be visible from 12 kilometers away. So that's why destroyers will be able to come undetected from like stealth and from nowhere and hit. Some ships will have like recon planes, which will increase their visibility range. It will be like a cooldown feature, which we can use. And for example, if you are playing as aircraft carrier, you can use your fighter squadron as a scout. So you can choose via waypoints where to fly the planes, where to scout, and then to unload all your air force in there.
Obviously, you've already got the branding with World of Tanks, moving World of Warships, and World of Warplanes. Do you see any kind of crossover, or is it more just your account will be, you can obviously have the same account across all the games, or do you see any influence from one to the other? Oh, you've been playing World of Tanks, have some sort of bonus in World of Warships, or some sort of crossover or something like that. Is that something that's on the cards, or is it something you guys have already talked about? Or?
Definitely we will not see like combined gameplay on the same battlefield because of the different distances and everything. For sure we will have the unified account for all our products, and we're thinking of combining integration on the clan level, like on a global map level, where World of Warship clans will be able to help World of Tanks clans to control some territories. Maybe it will be realized with some kind of commander consumables. For example, you will have like artillery strike on Battle Warship clan on the map, and you will be able to use it as a tank commander, like strike this area or something like that. We're thinking on that right now, and maybe we will have some cross promotions in the games, like with such kind of battles in this game, and we got some point on that game. It's not for sure right now, we cannot speak for sure because we aimed at the release of single title, AAA title, and after that we will see what community asks for.
Sure. And you mentioned, going back, I guess, to what you mentioned before about having the two nations currently, USA and Japan, and you're looking at expanding to further nations. Obviously, you mentioned even building one of these battleships takes a long amount of time to plan and everything. Is the plan to go for a single nation and then essentially create a couple of their warships, or will you sort of pick and choose maybe the best warships from different nations? What's sort of the plan?
For now we're aiming at single nations introduction, maybe without like full scale all classes tech trees like Japan and US, like we have a World of Tanks. We're introducing some lines, some tech trees, and then adding. So for now we are considering like upcoming nations, which could be German, British and the USSR. We are not confident which will follow the first, but we already are working on the warships of these nations. Yes, you mentioned that it's a long way to produce at least one ship, but we extended our development team, so it's about 200 people right now. So in the end of 2013 it was 120 people. So we're working hard to push the release, and after that work directly without any stop, any relaxed time.